And you want to know who the whisperer was for the Democratic Party on the other side that captured the Latino vote for Bernard Sanders? Chuck Rocha. Am I saying his last name right? I don't know. But he played a pretty significant role. That's the reason why Bernie was so Bernie was popping in these demographics. Rocha. Chuck Rocha. So hey, Hasan, have you talked about how Donald Trump managed to get 50% of the Latino men vote? I'm a 19-year-old Latino college student, and I know Mexican culture is extremely misogynist, but I honestly never accepted this. Let me just say something, okay, to my Chicanos in the chat, okay, the people who, to La Raza, okay? The fuck do you mean? I know my fellow Mexicans are misogynistic. Brother, literally, Mexico elected a woman. What the hell are y'all talking about? Mexico not only elected a woman, but they elected a Jewish woman in a country that is like 98% Catholic. The fuck do you mean? This kind of analysis is so hollow. Please do not get duped. Yes, are there Latino dudes who are unimaginably racist, okay, and misogynistic? Yeah, of course there are. You know what else exists in the fray that we're just not talking about? White guys, okay? The fuck? Yeah. I think the idea is that like, oh, well, Mexicans should know better. Like, these guys are being racist towards them. It's like, yeah, no, they don't give a fuck, okay? They don't give a fuck. So you have to figure out how to reach them. That's it. These are all the same demographics that there was one guy who was very successfully captivating, right? His name, Bernard Sanders, dude. That's it. Where is it? Where the is that video? I know you know what I'm talking about. Let me see. Go.
Open for some smart progressive to figure out how we're going to overcome that, but I have to imagine that the successful campaigns of the next 10 years will have to look dramatically different than Democratic infrastructure has looked like in the profession that raised Ryan and I.
And I can say, and maybe you had this experience too, as somebody who's in the independent media, you know, our show on Breaking Points last night consistently had close to 100,000 people watching, you know, millions of viewers. No attention from Democrats, lots of attention from Republicans. I hope that this is the last.
Dude, someone in the chat was talking about how big femicides are in Mexico. That further proves my point. Just want to point that out. Okay? I didn't say Mexico elected Claudia Sheinbaum to tell you that they're not misogynistic or woke. My point is, people don't give a fuck. Okay? People don't care when they believe you. Okay? They don't give a shit. That's the point I'm making. I'm not saying that like Mexico does not have issues with misogyny, okay? As a Chicanx, okay, that sounds like a slur when you put an X at the end of Chicano. Growing up in California, one overwhelming theme among Hispanic men in my area was if they were citizens, was always wanting to be one of the good ones. Unfortunately, I think this allows them to vote against their interests because they always want to go to work and say I voted for Trump. Yeah, I mean, you're just proving the point further that the "Yo voy a votar por Donald Trump" was a banger. That's it. Ay, 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 por Dios. Yo voy a votar por Donald Trump. Economy. You give people what they want, AMLO and Morena, and they show up to vote for you. Only American liberals think that this is a crazy idea.
Democratic nominee who says no to Joe Rogan. Like, even if you have to go to the studio.
I would go further than that, Ryan.
Yeah.
You need your own Joe Rogan is the bigger point. That's the bigger problem, not
well,
that.
Democrats had their own Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan endorsed Bernie Sanders in 2020.
Yeah, he's right. 100p. Here's an example of why the Hispanic vote moved. You want to know something that's funny? Old heads of the show know this very well. I am Mr. Truth Teller on the Texas GOP Latino outreach. For years, I have talked about this. For fucking years. And you want to know who the whisperer was for the Democratic Party on the other side that captured the Latino vote for Bernard Sanders? Chuck Rocha. Am I saying his last name right? I don't know. But he played a pretty significant role. That's the reason why Bernie was so Bernie was popping in these demographics. Rocha. Chuck Rocha. So that's it. That's like Bernardo was beloved by young Latinos. Beloved. Okay. You are literally the only person I've ever talked about it. Yes, that is my autistic hyperfixation. It has for years been Texas GOP Latino outreach. Okay. Texas is straight up just Latino. I think it's one of the states where it's almost majority Latino. All right. It's crazy. How the f do Republicans put up LeBron numbers year after year? Yeah. How'd they do that? How'd they do that? Someone's got to figure it out. And I've been saying this for years and years. They have like taken that outreach and basically universalized it. They nationalized that outreach strategy. And it was very effective. But that does not work. Okay. That does not work if there is a competent democratic response that also goes to the Latinos in Texas and says, what do you need? I got you. That's it. Class reductionist messaging works on Latinos big time, and it's not just them either. Yeah, I mean, it's not. Class reductionism is also stupid because, once again, like the statement of class reductionism is, I think, inherently, it's ironically reductive itself, right? Because the f do you mean class reductionism? Like class transcends all of the other markers, okay? When you engage in violence towards black people, especially in this day and age, it is still done through the classist violence. They're subjected to additional harms as a consequence of their race, but it is still primarily done through class war. That's not what class reductionism is, though. Yes, I know what f***ing class reductionism is. Class reductionism is when you're like, oh, I only care about class. I don't care about race. I don't care about anything else. Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I've never said that. I don't think that you should write out allies specifically because you want, healthcare. Because when you start writing out allies, then you're going to end up being like, okay, Medicare for all except trans people. And that's ridiculous. Class does not transcend desire. There are poor, gay, and trans people whose oppression transcends economic class. What? Yes, but overall, those poor and gay and trans people, I'm not saying to ever write out like the specific types of bigotries that they experience. I'm simply stating that they're not magic, okay? When you're gay or trans, you're not like living in a vacuum. You're still living in America. So you still got bills to pay, all right? You still got bills to pay. You still got rent. That shit sucks. You're still subjected to economic pressures. You don't have to have bad social issues with policies or class reductionist messaging strategy. It's the difference between politics and policy. You can win elections first and have good social issue policies after you win. No, I don't mind. Like I don't think you should pander to individual groups. Okay, I don't think you should do that. The cynical way in which the Democratic Party does that is dumb. You should always abide by a message of universality. Having said that, however, I still, I'm still going to say you should advocate for people. You can deflect. You don't need to like always address every random dumb shit that has happened in like the trans universe. Okay. And people used to try to like me up on this all the time back in the day. They'd be like, when my community was smaller, chirpers would come in here all the time and they'd be like, what are your opinions on neo pronouns? I'll be like, I don't care. Shut the f up. Okay. I don't give a shit. Don't come to me until the Trans Council of Elders have decided on what is the best pathway forward. Okay. You're coming at me, a cis dude, before the trans community has already like arrived at a conclusion on what the best step forward is. And guess what? I'm glad I did that instead of doing endless debates on neo pronouns or Z's or Zim or whatever the fuck. Okay? Because nobody cares about that anymore. What happened? But in the time frame that you were really invested in this conversation, every single person was like, oh my God, what are you going to say about this? What are you going to say about this? What are you going to say about this? That's it. Like, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. It is funny though, because like, it's almost always weirdo fucking transphobes that are like waiting in the shadows, like going into the Hearts of Iron forums to be like, ooh, what's the next innovation in trans drama? How can I make this everyone's problem? It's like half the shit I talk about that pertain to the trans community, my fucking trans chatters are not even tuned into. Why do I know this? No one should know this. And the only reason why I know it is because those goddamn chasers, Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro and the like, are so fucking laser focused on the latest and greatest of trans drama that they're constantly thinking about trans people way more than trans people are. Anyway, so what? There's a race war taking place on TikTok. What else is new?
High class street music.
Okay, but like, isn't this the exact opposite side of just like being like there's funny versions of this. There's funny versions of this. I saw a tweet about this. Is like, if I ever see a Latino man say the N-word again, like, I thought that was funny. Okay. Like that's like a humorous way to approach the situation. Like this, not so much. You know what I mean? I don't get it. Chuck Rocha's organization has been involved in every House race that's flipped from R to D so far. What? I think this is currently so far. We worked on every House race that flipped from R to D. Brown consultants matter. And he wears a cowboy hat. I saw one that said, this is why we can't let Latinos use the N-word growing up. Yeah.
With more than 30 million eligible voters, Latinos are set to be the largest minority voting group in this year's presidential election. Their support will be essential in ensuring a win in key battleground states like Arizona.
Yeah, just tell Hispanic men that Goku would never fuck with Trump. That's what I'm saying, dude. See, this right here, we're thinking, okay? That's it. You would have flipped it back so fast. It's not even a joke. You would have flipped it back so fast. Just Goku and Kamala Harris holding hands side by side. Okay. God damn, that shit would have slapped, dude. That is so dialed in. They should have hired us. The campaign should have hired us, chat. We would have done it.
Arizona, Florida, Nevada, North Carolina, and Texas. And 2 of those states were big wins for Bernie Sanders this past primary season. In his new book out this month, Chuck Rocha, who served as an advisor to Sanders, gets into the campaign strategy on how it won over those Latino voters during the primaries. And Chuck is joining us now from Washington. So Chuck, thank you so much for joining us. I love the aesthetic, the hat, the whole look that you're rocking. I'm really into it. I remember during the primaries, in particular for me, really realizing, in particular Arizona, how popular Bernie Sanders was in Arizona was kind of like a moment where I was like, oh, wait a minute, he's really doing well.
Nevada too. The Latino Warriors carried him. The Culinary Union carried him to a fucking dub. Yes.
With Latinos. So let us talk about this. Let's talk about your book, why you wrote it, and how it offers candidates a sort of roadmap into how to tap into the Latino vote.
Well, thank you so much.
The commercials usually cued me to renew my Prime subscription. Don't know how long I've been unsubscribed. How much of a Prime drop-off are you seeing? I don't know. But in order to avoid that Prime drop-off, you can subscribe with Twitch Prime for free. That's right. Twitch Prime is free, folks. You can also subscribe for $6 as well. Prime time, baby. Prime time. Dane, anonymous gifter, thank you for the 10. Dane's and 8, thank you for the 10. A-Cap for Cutie, thank you for the 5. Los Pipos, thank you for the 5 gifted. Yeah, I got to do a call to action for subs. Now that we're not running fucking ads, you know? Are you not allowed to run ads? No, I am. Don't make me do it. Let's continue.
Thank you for having me. And I wrote this book exactly because of what you described. Many people don't see Bernie Sanders as being a Latino icon or somebody that Latinos would just fall in love with. Mm-hmm. Well, it didn't happen overnight. and it didn't happen automatically. There was a lot of work that went into it. So I wanted to write the book in kind of open source exactly how we did it, because through my 30-year career in politics, I've always heard, oh, Chuck, Latinos just don't vote. And I wanted to dispel that rumor forever and explain how we actually did it, how we were very intentional about our hiring, how we started very early, how we hired a whole team of culturally competent staff and consultants to actually go into those neighborhoods and through a multi-layered paid communication strategy, talk to Latinos where they're at. If they're a young Latino, talking to them on their cell phones. If they're an older Latino who only speaks Spanish, talking to them on Univision or Spanish radio, going into those weekly newspapers. I want to be very direct to help all the Democrats, all the progressives, and anybody who ever want to reach out to our community again on exactly what that roadmap looks like.
When I was watching the Republican National Convention, one of the things that struck me was the sheer number of Black and Latino speakers. And, some analysts had said, part of that was also about speaking to white voters to sort of indicate that the Republican Party is a big tent party or bigger tent party. But clearly the Latino and Black vote is incredibly important this presidential election. Why is that?
So it was a brilliant strategy, and people don't automatically think of this current president as being somebody that a Black voter or a brown voter would give any recommendation to. But what he needs to do in the number of states that you mentioned early on is peel off some of that support and shore up his white support. Again, what you said in your intro of this. And he did all three. Now, everybody out there that's a progressive Democrat, Black voter, or brown voter goes, Donald Trump is not with us. We're never going to vote for him. And you're right. The majority of Black and brown voters, and big majorities with Black voters, are not going to vote for him. But what he needs to do is skim off some of that vote. And he knows, like I know, if he's done any polling like I've done all summer long, that there's a little bit of a softness in Black men and brown men. So that's exactly who he was talking to, trying to get 1%, 2%, 3% of those voters to be open to a message and not really open to what he's been doing in the past. Like, don't look behind the screen. Look at me taking and talking to you now.
Oh, that's fascinating. So when it comes to Biden's campaign, especially during the primary, he sort of lagged behind Sanders in organizing Latino voters. What led to the Vermont senator's success in winning the Latino vote in states like California and Texas? Because I got to tell you, that was also another surprise to me, California, because I thought for sure Latino voters in California would be leaning into Biden. And then to hear that this was a strong area for Bernie Sanders was, it caught me off guard. So what did he do right?
Again, I'll put this in the book because it's such a great question. You hit it the nail on the head. I'd like for your people who are listening right now to know that the very first time we did a poll in Nevada, Joe Biden was beating Bernie Sanders with the Latino vote by 5 points. By caucus day, Bernie Sanders won 73% of the Latino vote. We moved an electorate over 70 points in 6 months. To my point, Joe Biden didn't spend any money. He didn't have any money in that 6 months. And we had money, resources, and a very culturally competent campaign. And we're running, again, that multi-layered approach. And so what I've proven in writing this book and what we did is if you treat a Latino voter like you do that elusive, white, persuadable voter that we love to talk about in the collar counties of big cities and give them the same treatment as a persuadable voter as you do a white voter, they will show up at the same rate as a white voter. So you never have to say that Black or brown people underperform when it comes to voting. What we've proved, if you make that investment and you do it with the right group of consultant and employees and folks that are working on the ground from the community who look like the community, you can make great inroads. And that is my cry to the Democratic Party today and to Joe Biden and to all these super PACs out there is that you must invest in this community if you want them to vote.
We talked a little bit about the president and perhaps his challenge with Latino voters is his immigration.
Yeah, Bernie crushed it in Dearborn. The win came following sustained outreach aimed at Arab and Muslim Americans from Zaid Jalali in 2016. Bernie crushed it in Dearborn with Arab voters, Muslim voters. Bro, they had Palestinians rocking the fucking keffiyeh doing, what is it called, the dabka or whatever, the dance, like at his rallies and shit. It's crazy. Bernie absolutely crushed every fucking demographic that went to Trump this election. Every demo. And then the Democrats are like, how did we lose these demos? Like, how do we? Yeah, I don't know. You kept fucking yelling falsely that they were like misogynistic pieces of shit. And I'm not like excusing people for outwardly being not only hostile to the Democratic Party, but then taking it one step further and taking it one step further and like voting for the Republicans, right? Like that's ridiculous. But like as someone who's been called a Bernie bro, misogynist, racist, blah, 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 like, yeah, I don't give a shit that people are saying that. I know where they're coming from when they say that. I think it's like a cynical smear. Just like when people say I'm fucking anti-Semitic, like that's insane. It's an insane position to hold, right? Like, I guess I have a tougher skin for this sort of thing, but I don't expect everyone to have that same kind of resilience. And especially when you're running a fucking campaign, you can't do that. Your job is to open up your arms. And if you can open up your arms to like neocon, warmongering, torturing pieces of shit, monstrous scumbags, which you shouldn't open your fucking arms to, you can damn well open your goddamn arms to average working class Americans who have been duped. It's so fucking annoying. You understand? It's who the Democratic Party opens its fucking arms to, who they want inside of the fucking tent that is a problem. We're so fucked, bro. Look at what these idiots are saying.
Trump gets elected president. Hamas calls to end the war. Bitcoin shoots to the highest it's ever been. The stock market shoots to the sky in record numbers. And then Vladimir Putin says he's ready for negotiations to end the war in Ukraine. He hasn't even stepped in office yet. But yet, he's racist.
Hamas is called to end the war. Brother, Hamas has been calling to end Israel's incursion since October 10. They literally said they would release all the hostages if Israel gave them a fucking port and released the hostages, the Palestinian hostages that they have. The fuck? That was in October 10th, 2023, by the way. He said Putin, didn't he? I don't know about the Putin thing. Wait, he said Putin would release the hostages? What hostages is he talking about?
Ukraine. He hasn't even stepped in office yet. But yet, he's racist, and Kamala Harris is ready to do change when she's been there for 4 years with Biden. And this is why I just get annoyed with people that are fake politicians and just go off social media. Oh, let me...
What is this? They misquoted Hamas statements. Hamas calls for immediate end to war after Trump election win. A senior Hamas official will call for an immediate end. The election of Trump as the 47th president of the USA is a private matter for the Americans, Hamas political bureau member and spokesperson Bassem Naim told Newsweek. But Palestinians look forward to an immediate cessation of the aggression against our people, especially in Gaza, and look for assistance in achieving their legitimate rights of freedom and independence and the establishment of their independent self-sovereign state with Jerusalem as its capital. The blind support for the Zionist entity Israel and its fascist government at the expense of the future of our people and the security and stability of the region must stop immediately. Okay. Yeah, this is literally the same shit that they've been saying. Hamas released a boilerplate message that they have released 10,000 fucking times since October 10. Russia's Putin says, ready for dialogue with courageous Trump. The Russian leader congratulates Trump on winning the U.S. election, saying he was ready for talks with the Republican president-elect. Oh, boy. Kyiv Post, Wall Street Journal, Trump team proposes 20-year freeze on Ukraine's NATO bid in exchange for peace. The alleged peace plan also suggests freezing the current front lines by establishing a demilitarized zone without using U.S. or UN forces to police it. How do you stop people reading that the way they want to? They just want to confirm their bias? You can't. You just got to be truthful. Are we going to start aligning with Russia? I'd be shocked if Donald Trump looked at the situation in Ukraine. Dude, this is a little bit of an L for the Democratic Party because they had, I mean, this seems like a little sensationalist, but the Democratic Party hologram, get the fuck out of here, dude. Fuck that. I'm good. Bro, at least you get to choose. My ass is getting it. My ass is getting deported to Mexico. Yeah, except you're kind of sheltered from that because China has basically Australia-fied Mexico, as far as I understand. So, you know, getting deported to Mexico, especially with Mexico's recent fucking closeness to China, you know, you're good. At least you get to use the BYD cars. Nobody's drafting your old ass. That's true. I think by the time they get to me and by the time the war starts, I'll be like at least 35 plus. So by the time they get to me in the draft, like it's already over, you know? That's my goal.
Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. It won't be long before you're playing point guard for the Guangdong Tigers.
It's true. Oh, I'll ball in the Chinese league. Are you kidding me? Streets of Berlin, 1945 is when they get to you. Oh. Draft is only up for people up to 25 to 26 year old. Yeah, I'm saying that. Yeah, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying that by the time they get to people my age, in the fucking draft, it's Jover. You know what I mean? I'll be long gone, baby. We're still on an article about Ukraine, and you're telling me about the draft being up to 26 years old, brother. Tell that to fucking Zelensky, okay? Hello? No. That age will they'll increase that. There's an upper limit to it, but you never know. White man dodges draft in perfect Mandarin. Chinese generals are shocked. Yes, defect. My man said the age of the draft is fucking 26. Is like the average Ukrainian soldier's age is like 47 right now. Why they want to take away our guns? Bro, what the fuck were they researching?
Yeah, I saw they went left. They're behind that ridge now.
Wait, what? Oh, they're following the monkeys? Oh my God. Free them? I don't want to know what kind of fucking research was being done. Like, they have to reveal that, right? Like, I feel like that's kind of fucked up. If they're just, I think it's just because they might rip your face off. I don't know, dude.
God knows where they went, right?
Dude, this is like paradise.
If I get drafted, I'm doing 40 chest shit and getting as high rank as possible and defecting to China and giving them all the information I gathered. You know, it's funny because, like, we probably have a bunch of fucking weirdo psychos in the chat right now tracking everything that you guys are saying. And they're basically going to fucking clip all of this and be like, Hasan's entire community is defecting to China in the upcoming Chinese war.
As part of my plan to secure the border on day one of my new term in office, I will sign an executive order making clear to federal agencies that under the correct interpretation of the law, going forward, the future children of illegal aliens will not receive automatic U.S. citizenship. It's things like this that bring me.
This is an old clip, isn't it? I mean, he tried to do this. It's unconstitutional. Not that it, oh my God, I just said something is unconstitutional. Like that fucking matters. Oh my God. Oh, I forgot. Sorry, guys. Sorry. For a second, I forgot. Okay. My mistake. Yeah, this is an old clip. CBS says the monkeys were being used for vaccine development. Well, thank God we got RFK Jr. who will deal with this, okay? Unleash the beast. Unleash Robert into the South Carolina wildlands and sick him, okay? One, he loves killing random animals, okay? Exotic animals. That's number one. This is his forte, okay? Two, he hates vaccines. So if these fucking monkeys are vaccinated, oh my God, that's double XP COD weekend, okay? For RFK Jr. Are you kidding me? He's gonna be like, the monkeys were also vaccinated, which is why I wanted to kill them even more. Obviously, the vaccine would have probably killed them regardless, but not before I got to them and ate their brains. The worms in my brain demand I eat the brain of the monkeys. It controls me. Some days it's silent. Other days it tells me to gut the FDA. I needed to open up their skulls to see inside the cavity. People are advised not to try and capture, feed, or handle the monkeys. According to CDC, some monkeys carry B virus, which can be deadly to people. Even if a monkey doesn't appear to be ill, it can still be infected. The monkeys are wild animals, even if they have been raised around people. Like any wild animals, they may bite, spit, or scratch when frightened. For these reasons, people should not attempt to capture, feed, or handle these escaped monkeys. 43 monkeys that were being used for vaccine development escaped from a lab in South Carolina and are currently on the loose. What is B virus? Dude, I have no fucking idea. 43 monkeys hogwatch has started.
43 monkeys escaped from South Carolina. So now we have more monkeys out there. Because you see, where I live here in Florida, we have monkeys that live here. There's a lot of them. And we can get close to these monkeys here because they carry STDs. Okay? And these monkeys live real close to me. Okay, so I need to know what kind of monkeys were released from this laboratory. Because, y'all, the winter
Is she being racist or like, is that a real thing? Are there actually like monkeys with STDs roaming around the streets in fucking Florida? Yes, they have herpes. I'm not even joking. It's real. Wait, for real? No, not the, oh, it's herpes B virus. Oh, the monkeys have herpes. But what about these monkeys in Florida? I can't tell if she's like trying to be fucking like unimaginably racist or if she's like, or if she actually, if there is like, it's Florida, so I don't know. Oh my God, it's not even a joke. Wait, no, but she said they have STDs. Furry, cute, and drooling herpes. What to do with Florida's invasive? Oh my God. Oh my God, she wasn't, dude, it's Florida, man. It's Florida. That's why I was saying, like, you can't, it could be either or, you know what I mean? Like it's Florida, so a Floridian could be like insanely racist on Maine. But it's also Florida, like the likelihood of having like monkeys with herpes roaming the fucking streets, like I low key is a coin flip. Yeah. Remember, Florida is a PvP free zone. It's really fucked up out there. So it does make sense that this
winter is coming. And guess where they're going to head to next? They're going to come down here and they're going to make friends with these monkeys. And they're going to do their monkey business. And then they're going to multiply. So I need to know what kind of monkeys were released from this. And does it matter what kind of monkeys were released? Can they mate with these monkeys here? What in the world?
When a Taiwanese restaurant listened to you out loud and you just said monkeys with herpes, why are you listening to me in public out loud? That's your fault. That's your dang fault, okay? You have no one to blame but your damn self for that one. Straight up. The fuck? Okay. All this, like, everything has to be, like, conflict. Everything has to turn into, like, gender wars, race wars. It's so fucking frustrating, dude. Among Latinos, a key part of the Democratic voter base for decades, Trump benefited from a mammoth 14% points bump. Nowhere is Trump's reshaping of the electorate more apparent than in the states of Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. This time, Trump won all three states, crushing Democrats' hopes that Harris could find a path of victory. Despite early election night losses in the southern states of North Carolina and Georgia. In his victory speech, Florida, he said he's set to win the popular vote too. They came from all quarters, union, non-union, African-American, Hispanic-American. He told the roaring crowd, we had everybody. It was beautiful. Exit polls suggest Latinos in Pennsylvania amounted to about 5% of the total vote. Trump garnered 42% of that vote, compared to 27% when he ran against Joe Biden. The polls will continue to change as votes are counted, but are broadly representative of electoral trends in the state's Latino belt, an eastern industrial corridor that has shifted to the right in the last two elections. You want to know what's crazy? It's like Hazleton, right? These racist motherfuckers were so mad that Hazleton went from like 90% white to like 90% Latino over the course of a couple of years. And all of those guys who started fucking small businesses and basically like revitalized the town on the verge of bankruptcy. Stop saying Hazelton. Sorry. Hazelton. Okay, anyway. All the dudes that live there are now fucking right wing. That's why I always laugh when these guys are like demographics of destiny. It's like, no, dude, you're just fucking racist. Like, you believe this shit. You think like Latinos are of one mind and are automatically a lock for the Dems when, you know, this past election has proven that. Wait, this is funny. Hold up. These guys are so fucking stupid. The reason this guy said literally fuck off us on 14K likes, okay? Democratic socialist Nordic model guy, little baby Gandhi. The reason young men flock to the alt-right MRA movements is because the left gives brain dead advice to young men. We need to be more compassionate to them for our own sake. I said Lamau. Yeah, I did. You want to know why I said Lamau? Because you said that people flock to the alt-right MRA movements because the left gives brain dead advice to young men. You're a fucking idiot. I'm the guy who quite literally is giving not brain dead advice to young men. Dumb fuck. It's a D poster. They botted the likes. Yeah. He's really good at rewriting history and having his Twitter journal spread it like wildfire. 1,000 likes. This is my psychopathic stalker account, by the way, that Richie Torres follows. That's crazy. I know. That's my stalker. That's the guy who's like, that's the joint stalker that I've had with like the Pokemon stalker. Fucking freak. He's probably in here right now with his 700th alt account. Dude, look at this shit. He just does not stop, brother. He only fucking posts about me. He sometimes posts about Destiny. What a fucking freak. IDF supported a counter. What? I didn't think when Tucker Carlson was bitching about the great replacement that he was talking about the Republican electorate. What? Dog, Sid went to school with me. He's a horrible fuckwit. I knew him at university. He was the same on campus. Who is that? Who the fuck is Sid? Oh, this guy? The literally fuck off Hasan guy? That's so funny. These guys have no politics. It's just pure resentment, okay? It's just politics of resentment. And it's always deeply personal. It has nothing to do with like actual politics. It has nothing to do with actual ideology. It is simply because at a certain point they felt wronged by someone like myself and they felt embarrassed and they never let that go and they carry that resentment in perpetuity. And that's it. What guy talking about?
That's what
you?
happens when you raise.
Why are you sending me fucking... Dude, take a week off, brother. Are we just fucking insane now? Are we fucking insane? I should probably ban you completely. Bruh, you all right? I'm so confused what happened. This guy, like, there are people in this community that know better. They should know better. That is like sending me fucking drama farms. Like dudes who almost entirely base their identity off of, crying and complaining. Like random fucking haters. Next 4 years, the goal is just to use the Destiny Dean Withers playbook and go on every single podcast and video possible. Flood the zone with online left-wing content and on moderate and right-wing spaces. I don't think those two names should be side by side with one another. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, flood the zone with a guy so that we can have a young constituency of people who are Kyle Rittenhouse defenders who want to be able to say the N-word as white people. You know, just change the demographic makeup and the ideological makeup of the Democratic Party to just like edgy 4chan fucking losers, you know? And no, I don't mean Dean. I don't think he's like that at all. Remember when they tried to flood the zone with him and DSA Atlanta said, nah? These dipshits at Metro Atlanta DSA are fucking petty and stupid for not wanting to work with gays within to canvas for liberal candidates, petty online bullshit, and it should be discouraged at your chapter. DSA work is a wide tent. Grow up. If Dems push D before next election, JD Vance flips New York red. I'm saying it. Oh, for sure. What are your thoughts on DSA? Love them. They're great. I like PSL, I like DSA. I'm an advocate. Just organize, man. Cutie is quitting Fear and wait, what? Really? What?
I said,
this is the last one I will be able to make until after the Streamer Awards, if planning is like this. I've been begging for a consistent day, but to be frank, I am genuinely losing my mind. I haven't even been able to stream. We bulk recorded wine about it. I promise I'm just so down bad. I just need the pod to be consistent. I can't make the inconsistency with filming work for me, especially within this next month. So I am begging one last time, Sharks. Can we please establish a day and time where we can film no matter what? I would love if we could be a team and lock in a film day. Please, it's been a year.
Can't tell if you were sarcastic about the DSA. We need tone indicators. No, I love the Democratic Socialists of America. What the fuck are you talking about? What? I've always been a supporter. And I said, yes, organize. It's a good thing. This is what broke up Cumtown, Lamau. No!
No one replied.
That's not true. We've literally been texting each other.
Interest.
Some comedic relief. Israel's ambassador to the UN scared and deeply offended by young children's drawing of peace.
Of the United Nations, where thousands of people are passing every day, the UN decided to put an exhibition about world peace. Look at the drawings of children from all around the world. Nothing about Israel. Nothing about our hostages. Look what they have. They don't recognize.
Wait. Bro, that looks like my watermelon drawing, dude. What the fuck?
Israel, they promote hate in those drawings. That is shameful. This is part of the hypocrisy of the United Nations.
This is satire. See, this has got to be satire. There's no way he just pointed to a child's drawing and said, this is hypocrisy. See, you see? These are terror children, terror babies, doing terror with these drawings of Hamas. The drawing says peace, dude. He's like, He pointed.
Put an exhibition about world peace. Look at the drawings of children from all around the world. Nothing about Israel. Nothing about our hostages.
Yo! Oh, I can't wait till someone clips this and is like, Hasan is laughing about the hostages. Yeah, brigaded subreddit, 14,000, 15,000, 17,000 upvotes. Front page of r/all. They're like, how come he's not banned from life? Please, excuse me, sir, FBI, can you kill him? FBI, kill this man. What does the watermelon mean? It's the colors of the Palestinian flag. When the Palestinian flag was banned, people would use watermelon as a representation, but also it's also like the entire. I think it's kind of funny because this is like the entirety of Israel, including the occupied Palestinian territories, which is like historic mandatory Palestine, historic Palestine. But they also sometimes add Golan Heights onto it, like in this situation. So it's like giving me giving me a little bit of a confusing message. Like they add the little Golan Heights in the top. So they're like, I mean, it's a kid drew this. They weren't thinking. But I like that they're like, you know, the Palestinians can have Golan Heights as well.
Look what they have. They don't recognize Israel.
This is a drawing of terror. Look at this. This is a child. He must have learned this in the Hamas camps, where they teach anti-Semitism, like concepts such as free Palestine. There is no Palestine. These children are Hamas.
They promote hate in those drawings. That is.
Have we ever considered that Israel's just anti-kid in a Reddit sense? Bro, the funniest part is the camera work, dog. He's saying that is shameful. And they pan to the photos and it's like, peace comes from within. Peace begins with a smile. Free Palestine. He's like, that is shameful. Bro, I'm sorry. This is bad guy shit, dude. What the fuck? How do you not see that? Oh God. This is crazy, dude. This is like a sketch.
It's shameful. This is part of the hypocrisy of the United Nations. I demand that the UN will remove this exhibit immediately.
What? He's like a cartoon villain. Bro's beefing with kids. Oh, that's so funny, man. What the fuck? They removed it? They removed it? No, they removed it? Shut the fuck up. They did not. They took it down. UN removes quilt panel artwork calling for Israel's extermination after facing backlash. Fox News Digital confirmed that the entire panel featuring controversial drawing has been removed. Controversial drawing calling for the extermination of Israel. Wait, he gave an interview?
We will decide about the timing, the location. I cannot disclose the details, but I can tell you one thing. It will be very painful for the Iranian regime, and they will sink to...
Oh, he's not talking about... I thought he was still talking about the quilt. I thought he gave an interview about the quilt. He's like, when we take this quilt drawing of children, it will be very dangerous for Iran, the Iranian regime. Bro, the UN is such a toothless, feckless, cowardly institution that they fucking removed this. They won't even... Wait, he's gloating about it?
I have exposed that at the main entrance of the UN placed an exhibit of a drawing full of hatred against Israel. I demanded that the UN will remove this exhibit, and today they did it. We will continue to fight hate and anti-Semitism in the halls of the UN. Yesterday, I have exposed that...
Bro, there ain't no fucking way. Danny Denon complained about a Palestinian children's drawing not recognizing Israel. The UN took down the exhibition. Just 3 months ago, his predecessor, Gilad Erdan, affixed the Greater Israel Mezuzah, including Gaza, West Bank, and the Golan, in the ambassador's office. Wait, I mean, that seems a bit unfair. How come Israel gets to fucking do that? That's a whole ass adult. Your chat is a bunch of NPCs. Hell yeah, brother. It's actually 700 IQ to fucking dunk on children for their peace drawing that says from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Yeah. This shit is so funny to me because it's like aside from, you know, just straight up cartoon villain behavior, like you're, you know, what are you doing? But what's really crazy about it is that it's like Israel not only gets to kill like as many children as it wants to, and it's killed a shit ton in Gaza, but then also like you can't even be like, hey, can we do some peace? And they're like, nah, that's anti-Semitic. Take that shit down. And then international organizations like respond positively to this unhinged behavior. Brother, your government that you're defending is just ruthlessly slaughtering children. What a fucking joke. Israel's been getting children's drawings taken down for decades. Check this one from 2011. The sun and the trees are crying. What? Oakland Museum of Children's Art shuts down Palestinian children's exhibit. The Middle East Children's Alliance, Mecca, which was partnering with MoCA to present the exhibit, was informed of the decision by museum's board president on Thursday, September 8th, 2011. For several months, Mecca and the museum had been working together for the exhibit, which is titled A Child's View from Gaza. Oh my God. I didn't realize this was like a thing that, not the first time. London Hospital removes Gaza children's art to placate pro-Israel group. UK lawyers for Israel described the drawings, which were on display at the hospital for over a decade, as propaganda. London Hospital takes down artwork by Gaza school children after, oh, this is the same one, after complaint. Where the mask has come off, liberals entirely, they're utterly unhinged right now with the fascism. Yeah, liberals don't give a shit, dude. I mean, I don't know how else to explain this. Like, I mean, this is like kind of funny in comparison to the metric ton of fucking cruelty.
And we'll stop with the hypocrisy against Israel. Here at the main end.
Your art is next? No. Doesn't that guy have like shit to do? Yeah, he has a genocide to defend. Or I don't know. They've also started arresting French military police on technically sovereign French soil, which is funny because like the French right wing are probably at odds with this because on the one hand they're like unimaginably pro-Israel, but on the other hand they're unimaginably pro-France. So how are you going to be a nationalist while simultaneously capitulating to Israel violating your sovereignty and arresting your citizens? You know, I'm pouring one out for the fucking dumbass French right tonight. They're gonna have a really hard time trying to figure out how to move in these upcoming. Oh, I forgot. I'm so sorry. I forgot. I'm sorry.